Here we are, Uninformed Movie Reviews. Welcome back. Today we're talking about everything, everywhere, all at once, with everyone on the podcast here, starring me, Danny, your host. Also got David to my left and Frank to my right, which is your left.
Special guest appearance. I just keep coming back. I hit a lot of those special guest appearances consistently.
You know who's not a guest on this episode? The cricket.
It's right. We're recording during the day for those ones who like to watch.
Yes, cricket-free episode.
Check it out. I'm gonna be, impressed if he shows up.
Well, you know what? I'll be admiring his dedication.
I texted him to let him know like we were recording earlier.
Stay home.
So if he's not here, that's his own fault.
I know you're sleeping right now, but hit it up.
Oh, I thought you were gonna hit him with a classic. We're recording at this time, so that we recorded another time.
Hey, we'll be there 7 p.m.
Yeah, he's ready.
He's gonna be so pissed tonight when he shows up.
For those who aren't in the know, we have a very belligerent cricket, I guess. What's the word I'm thinking
I would almost
of?
say indignant even. I feel like there's an air of indignance to it.
Yeah, he changes location every time we record because it happens to be in the evening. Alas, we're recording during the day. Look at this lovely light.
Wow. Natural light.
Everyone's got energy. The day hasn't destroyed them yet. Yet. Today we're talking about a brand new film just premiered not long ago. We all saw it, starting with David actually recommending it to us. And in a domino effect, we happened to watch it ourselves. It's called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and it just happens to be A24's highest grossing film. I'm not going to say numbers, but I will say that.
Oh, wow. How respectful. How uncharacteristically respectful of you.
Let me hit those numbers real quick. So Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Wow. It's a runtime of 2 hours and 19 minutes. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once currently has an 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb and a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Deservedly so.
No budget released yet for this one, but had an opening weekend of $501,305 in the U.S. and has worldwide grossed $83,529,614.
Whoa.
It's a decent stack of millions.
I mean, and it's crazy because at least in our city, they were showing it at one theater.
That is not true. I was pretty upset at you guys the next day.
2 theaters?
It's playing all over the place.
All at once?
Yes.
Everywhere.
It's at like 4 or 5 different theaters.
Really?
Yes.
Even at Cinemark? I didn't.
The Cinemark, at Flix, at
Well, as previously
it's
mentioned,
only playing at the one Alamo.
I'm not going to Flix.
Yeah, Flix doesn't exist to us.
It's known in the lore of the channel. I'm done with Flix permanently. I don't care if it's the only theater showing a movie. I'll drive to Las Cruces.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
Still.
Cinemark. I probably could have done that.
I should probably caveat it that I will go to Flix if I eat somewhere else before.
Interesting.
Somewhere good.
Isn't it weird how now it's just like expected that I need to have food at the movie theater?
What a foreign idea that was not long ago.
No.
Honestly, when I go to like another movie theater and I can't order food from my chair, I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, it's weird.
Or it's just popcorn and hot dogs. That's weird.
But I could see some other people being like, I don't want to sit next to this guy eating, a burger and a plate of chicken tenders.
That's their fault. Smell me spill my vinegar all over my fish and chips.
You would think that that's more of a problem, but in the entire time that I've gone to any of these type of movie theaters, which has been a while now, I don't feel like I smell anyone else's food unless my food's not there. You know what I mean?
Then you're just hungry.
That's living in a post-COVID world.
Right? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's because I was ravaged by a disease.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Think of it, I don't smell anything anymore.
Anything, anywhere.
Yeah.
If you guys wanted to. So actually, Everything Everywhere All at Once, heretofore now referred to as Yow!
That's an acronym joke for those who aren't following. Yow!
It surpassed Uncut Gems in 2019, which was the highest, and then Hereditary, respectively, in 2018. I mean, do we have a plot daddy here?
Oh, wow. You know what? Honestly, I didn't think about it, but I'll just pull it right off the top of my head. Basically, we have a couple that runs a laundromat, and their marriage is sort of failing, and they're facing financial hardship because I guess there's a bit of a language barrier is what they try to say it is. I don't know.
With each other?
No. With the
Well, I don't think the hard
they're having
times
tax
are
issues.
because of the language barrier, but the frustration of their auditor is heavily to do with the translation.
But then and then they say that, oh, my mom didn't understand the forms, but I think that's more of an excuse.
Yeah.
I don't think it's actual. But basically, failing marriage, failing business, everything, everywhere, all these different problems. When suddenly her husband is communicating with her, but it's not her husband. It's a version of her husband from a different universe.
At least not the husband that she knows.
Yes. And we're introduced to I think, very interesting and very original multiverse idea of how we interact with different universes and different versions of ourselves. And from there, we're taken on a journey of self-discovery, quite literally, and fighting some evil foe unknown, but is known in the movie. I just don't want to spoil it. So,
which is honestly another original take. Like it's not just some big bad.
Yes.
For the sake of being a big bad.
It was funny because watching this movie, it wasn't that long ago that we were just watching Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which I think we all enjoyed.
Yes.
No one was like poo-pooing.
It's no Jurassic World Dominion, but I'll give it a pass. Shout
out to that CLE. But shoot, man, I mean, after watching this movie, that it does not help that Doctor Strange movie. I feel like
even something like No Way Home.
Yeah. It just seems so infantile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The limitless or unlimited possibilities of telling a story about multiple universes, and this feels like a movie that's actually trying to go there. You know what I mean?
And to
really explore it.
And to be fair to like the Marvel like multiverse like stuff, they're basing those off of stories that were written like a while ago at this point. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, and that's why they're not as fresh, because the source material isn't.
And that's that is a big thing about
I can't
Marvel
believe I just
DC.
Defended the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That was a really weird moment.
You're a
that just
Marvel bro
happened.
now.
I think if anything, you kind of put a slight against them.
Ha, got him.
Yeah.
Boom, roasted.
Because the Daniels that wrote this movie, I mean, arguably, it's kind of hard to argue because the Russos are also on this, but I doubt they wrote any part of this. They produced it. But I mean, they're not working off of pre-existing source material as far as we know.
Yeah, this isn't a book first, right?
Not that I know of.
I think it is like an original screenplay.
It's so this was researched as a concept as far back as 2010 and began penning the screenplay as early as 2016.
And this is a movie that they had a hard time making for a long time, that people like weren't interested in making. A lot of it is also the cast. Michelle Yeoh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeoh?
I think it's Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh, who's like just a famous kung fu actor, really. She's in Police Story 3, I believe. I don't know if you guys have seen Police Story 1 and 2.
With Jackie Chan?
I've seen
Is that
one
Jackie Chan?
100 times, but I only found out recently that there were sequels to it.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
So
one
they're on my list. God, one is so good.
One's beautiful.
It's one of those movies where 5 minutes in, you're 100% invested.
1 and 2, there's a nice Criterion Blu-ray set of like part 1, part 2 in one box. I really need to buy it.
That's pretty sweet.
I'm so excited about it. But yeah, I think she was really making it big in Police Story 3. Super Cop is the name of it. And in a weird...
The cop who can't be stopped.
Yes, it's the movie that they reference in Hot Fuzz. So when they're in the supermarket, I'm so glad you picked that up. In the supermarket, when he picks it up, it says Super Cop. Meet the cop who can't be stopped. That's the movie. That's the one.
Amazing, dude. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah, and she's also really famous from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah,
which was just a huge movie.
An amazing part of cinema.
So
you had mentioned Big, David, and to quote
Tom Hanks big or
well, I guess he could fit in this too.
oh okay.
To quote every local band in the span of time, big things coming soon. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing Uninformed Movie Reviews. You can follow us at Instagram at Uninformed Movie Reviews, where we post our content on the day it comes up. Little clips, but links to it. You can also check out our link tree on our page there. Go to our YouTube, help us out with a couple of likes, a thumbs up, hit the little bell, and you'll get your videos the day they come out, which is typically Sunday. Also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, please hit us up with a 5-star review. It helps us out with getting discovered. And if you follow us, you'll have our episodes downloaded right to your home screen, right when they're available.
To your home screen.
I guess that's what I can say.
When you open your MacBook in the morning.
Just bam! I think you're making promises we can't keep. But big things coming soon.
Big things happening.
Yeah, big things are happening.
Big ups.
Big ups.
So I'm actually reading that the part was originally written for Jackie Chan.
Oh, interesting.
And the lead role was later reworked and offered to Michelle Yeoh.
You know, Jackie Chan also would have made a really good husband character.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. Which is, what's the name of the actor?
I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher this. Ke Huy Quan.
Ke Huy Quan. Okay, so
who from this point will be referred to as Data
or Short Round.
Yeah. I'm a Short Round guy. Not that I don't like the Goonies, but
I'm
I
a
understand.
Data guy.
So if you hear us saying Short Round or Data, it's because it's this actor. He's back.
Also, Temple of Doom is much better than the Goonies, to be honest.
Ooh, whoa, this is hot take.
I think so.
Shoot. I mean, I think so too, because Temple of Doom is like my favorite Indiana Jones movie.
It's the darkest Indiana Jones
but I can
movie.
understand people thinking the Goonies is better. I think that is an argument.
I think that they have a nostalgia veil.
I know for sure Frank would say Goonies is better. Maybe I'm crazy. Yeah.
Have you watched?
I hold the Goonies in higher regard in my heart.
Have you watched all of Indiana Jones?
I mean, I've even seen like the last one I saw was the Shia LaBeouf
The Crystal Skull?
Well, that is the last one.
That is the
He's
last
like,
one.
I've even seen young Indiana Jones.
I've seen them all.
Dang. Okay. I have been doing a rewatch of Indiana Jones, and I just got to say, I'm biased again because it's just so good.
So good.
Even Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is dated, is still so good.
And
But have you watched the Goonies again?
Yes. Not too long ago.
Have you watched the deleted scene with the
I also
octopus?
watched Stranger Things. So, just kidding. No, I do love the Goonies. I always love the Goonies. But I mean, if I had to choose what to watch right now, I would choose Temple of Doom again.
Yeah, I would pick, if that was the scenario and people were like,
We only had 2 DVDs on the
there's
shelf.
two DVDs, which one are we watching?
Throw it up,
Temple
dude.
of Doom.
Let's do it.
That's what, I call okay, so, for years I've gotten the joke that I look Asian,
What?
It's something that I've had to come to gripes with, but there's a bunch of people who are watching the podcast.
You and me both,
This
friend.
guy's not Asian?
This guy's not Asian. Yeah. There are people going through the thoughts in their head that I was 2 years into our friendship.
Yeah. You're not Asian, really?
Wait, Hispanic?
But anyways.
In post, we're going to post a picture of your middle school picture just to further that.
Oh, dude. So Asian. But anyways, everyone in my family, we have the same kind of eyes. You know what I mean? Like from my mom's side. Anyway.
Oh, like in sets?
Yeah. So growing up, when my niece was like, 4 or 5, she looked very Asian. I used to call her Short Round, and I still call her Short Round today. And just a few weeks ago, she was like, I've never seen Indiana Jones. It felt like I missed something. And I think I showed it to her when she was little, but like too little to remember.
You didn't wait long enough.
Yeah. It's a little heartbreaking. But
Was she just like, oh, this is so old when she was watching it?
Oh yeah, she is one of those.
A snob.
She can't watch old movies.
I mean, I can resonate with that if it's something too old. Like we're talking almost Citizen. Like I guess relatively for us would be something like Citizen Kane era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would have a tougher time watching that and enjoying it as much as like something from the 80s.
Well, now that that
or the 70s.
Now that we're fully on this, sidecar, let's just keep going. I was talking to my buddy Alex yesterday, and we were talking about Star Wars, about the Obi-Wan show, which is incredibly mid.
Oh, did you watch it? I haven't
Yeah.
watched any of it.
It's, I don't know.
Is it underwhelming? It's mid though.
Underwhelming.
For real.
It is. For reals. he's got a daughter who's 1.5.
What?
And then I will soon have kids. You know what I mean? So we were talking about,
Oh, Alex.
okay, when you have kids, at what age do you show them Star Wars, and in what order do you go? You have to go 4, 5, 6.
Mhm.
Like, you can't start at 1.
No.
That's going to ruin a bunch
You're going
of
to
stuff.
scare them away.
Yeah.
But then also, it's
Or
going to
you'll
be...
just find out your kid has terrible taste.
well, it's going to be so...
You could raise as George
old.
Salas.
You know what I mean? Like, when we were kids, maybe we saw it in 97.
Yeah.
At that point, the original
It had
Star
been
Wars
20
was
years.
20 years
Yeah,
old.
that's not too old.
But now, say they watch it in 2027.
40 years? About 50 years.
50 years, dude. So imagine if in 1997 you were watching a movie 50 years old, you were watching something from the 1940s.
47, like Gone with the Wind or something
It would
like
have
that.
felt so old. You know what I mean? It would have felt incredibly old. So I don't know. I don't know if those are going to be watchable movies or if they're going to feel like, how am I doing this?
There's arguable caveats, though. I mean, like, if like an arguable caveat that I bring up is like if we were watching something from the 40s and it hadn't been put in Technicolor. I mean, let's say like it was like literally still staged like movies were, like a stage play essentially.
Well, not every movie's like that in the 40s.
No, not
I see what you're
everyone.
saying. I see what you're
But there's a higher percentage than those done in the late 70s. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
There's
There's a couple of exceptions, of course. Like Wizard of Oz is pretty timeless, and that's the 30s. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's
Was it?
almost at 100 years, which is insane.
them kids got crap taste. I'm just gonna put that out right
We'll
now.
have to find out.
We'll see.
Go watch Temple of Doom. Anyways, what are we doing?
And here we are, everywhere, everything, everywhere. all
Yeah,
at
I was
once.
thinking if there was an episode to be riddled with sidecars, this isn't a bad one for
Yeah,
it.
no, it makes sense.
I mean, what do we dive into on this one without trying to spoil things?
Well, honestly, my goal for this episode is I think if you haven't seen this movie yet, you need to go watch it.
yes.
Yes, do it before you lose your chance to watch it in theaters because it is a it's a very good theater experience. The sound design is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like immersive. It's a very immersive mix to it. And then just seeing all these beautiful images on the big screen is just something you don't want to miss.
I like the use of like retrofuturism that they use in the movie without being too like cheesy about it. Like a lot of movies right now are using retrofuturism in shows and stuff like Stranger Things. And, well, that is literally in the retro.
In the retro.
But something like a show I like also Severance is like retrofuturism, and things like the new Cronenberg movie Possessor, retrofuturism and stuff like that. It's hot right now. But
Wait.
this
It's not Possessor, is it?
Possessor. I
Not
say
the
something
new
else?
one. Possessor came out like
Yeah,
3
Possessor's
years
Bill
ago.
Cronenberg.
No, young Cronenberg.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about that new Cronenberg movie that's coming out soon, which I can't remember what the name is.
Oh, it's out.
Ooh.
Crimes of the Future.
CLE, probably not coming soon. Probably
Well,
Probably
yeah,
not. I don't know where we'd squeeze it
I've
in.
heard some mixed things about it, but it's
wouldn't mind
definitely a
watching
Cronenberg film. I mean, it's,
Well, if you're hearing mixed things, yes.
then it's definitely a
movie.
Cronenberg movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I was saying they use it tastefully. They use
Mhm.
retrofuturism tastefully, especially how they do universe jumping.
Yes.
Is that what they call it?
So, I mean, well, kind of bouncing off what you're saying, there is a very deliberate aesthetic and visual language to this movie. There's something very like original about it and well thought out. Whereas I feel like there are a lot of big movies today, again, going not to just dog on Doctor Strange, because I did enjoy the movie. But you finish watching Doctor Strange and it feels more like, okay, I just watched the latest episode of MCU.
What was the message from it? Too?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's nothing that feels super stand out. Whereas like you watch a movie like The Goonies and you're like, well, this was like an original movie that has memorable moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things that are going to stick with you, like imagery that is well crafted. And that's what this kind of feels like. It feels these kind of movies that we don't really get anymore, unfortunately.
That if
Yeah.
you watched once, you could recall things from.
Yeah.
You know.
Whereas if you try to ask me what happened in Iron Man 3, I'd be like, I don't know, shoot, man. It's like
There was like
a little orphan kid?
an orange guy or something like that. I don't know.
common red.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
I
orange
took
guy.
I took our dear friend Randy to go see this on my second watch, and he slept through the entire movie.
Beautiful.
But even he will have like images burned into his memory from this movie.
I mean, you had made a statement when you were telling us to watch this movie, like like the theater was pretty much in an uproar, and I agree. Mine was the same way. Mine wasn't as packed of a showing, but like everyone in the theater was having a good old time. Let's just say.
Yeah, well, to get into the humor a little bit, there is just so much absurdity in it.
Yeah.
In ways that remind me a lot of a show that everyone on this channel really likes. I Think You Should Leave Now.
Oh, hell yeah,
yeah.
dude. I love that. Do you like that show?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm the one who told you guys about it.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
He did.
You guys were like, oh,
He showed us a couple of skits at his house when we were leaving a podcast recording.
Yeah, we watched the Glenn one.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
from the first episode.
Okay.
But ironically, you guys have seen more of it than I have because Michelle hates it, so I don't get away with watching it.
Raven hates it, but I put it on right when they're going to sleep. I just,
Oh, that's the play. Man. Okay. I'm gonna do that. Put him out. But yeah, it's got that kind of just
almost a joke taken too far.
yeah, and it's like shocking. The joke is like it's hitting you, and you're like, "What is happening?"
Excuse me?
Yeah,
Like the hot dog guy.
yeah. I was about to say both use hot dogs very well.
Yeah.
I think you should leave now and
that's-
everything everywhere all at once.
That's a moment that I made sure to rake Randy up for, and it was really funny to me knowing that it made just as much sense to him out of context as it would if he had been watching the run up to it.
Yeah.
He would have just been just as shocked.
I'm confused too, sir. We're all just here trying to figure out who did this.
yeah. So I don't want to spoil any of the jokes. There's some great hot dog stuff. There's some great stuff.
Watch the movie. There's great hot dog stuff. I swear to
There's
God.
a really funny bit with this trophy that has to be used in a certain way. That's just like incredible.
Oh my God.
And also, even just the design of the trophy
Yes.
for the person it's awarded to was just so beautifully poetic.
Yeah, the visual gag is
Yeah.
amazing.
I mean,
Even
just-
her desk, like the angry, frumpy looking cat, it's like her character is so perfect. Jamie
Lee Curtis. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis is in the movie in a supporting role, and she's hilarious.
Oh, so good.
which really
so
surprised me too.
Yeah.
My favorite supporting character was Ratatouille, man.
Okay. Yeah. Which gets to another great joke.
Hey, that guy's a star.
He's a star.
Rocky is amazing. I mean, it's the most amazing part of the whole movie. It needs a spinoff. I've been seeing all these, like, there's this great poster that you can buy on Amazon. I'm almost thinking about buying one just to have in my house of Raccoon Cooey. And it's like a pseudo Pixar, like it's done in that art style.
Oh, I
fantastic.
love it.
It's so beautiful.
I need it.
Yeah, you need it for the nursery, man.
I need
Yeah,
it.
I should actually. Maybe I will get a Raccoon Cooey poster.
So- Speaking about the absurdist comedy,
Yeah.
this movie was written, screenplay by the Daniels, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, who also wrote
Oh, tell us more about this, Daniel.
Swiss Army Man. Yes, I, Daniel, will tell you more about the Daniels.
Yeah, why don't you cube this square and let us know more?
I actually just rewatched Swiss Army Man yesterday
Oh, cool.
because it's on Showtime right now, and it was. I watched Swiss Army Man out of the blue when it came out in like 2016, 2017, and I just remember watching it, and I kind of had the same. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of the same tone in it, but I had the same feeling watching this movie. To say, like maybe 10%. Well, first off, I looked at the cover of this movie and I was like, what is this movie about? Then I watched like 20% of the movie and I was like, what is this movie about? And then I was about halfway through it and I was like, what is this movie about? But I love it. That wasn't to be a knock on it. I was just lost, but not lost at the same time.
I think both movies, on the surface value, have a pretty simple premise. But then when you start watching them, it's like, oh, this is going to a lot of different places that I wouldn't necessarily expect. Have you seen Swiss
To
Army Man,
every
Frank?
place. No, I have not seen Swiss Army
Oh,
Man.
man.
Well, I mean, if you like this one, you'll like that one too.
you will definitely.
It's got that same humor flavor too, where it's like,
I'd say it's a little more absurd, to be honest.
and it's a little more morbid too.
yeah, definitely.
All right, I'm in.
But
Yeah.
it's really good. Yeah, I think you would like it. It's very dark.
And it's just Paul Dano and
Daniel Radcliffe for almost the entire movie. I mean,
Really?
Yeah.
there's a couple extra people at the end, I guess, but for the most part,
You get your I mean, you don't get the performance of like There Will Be Blood, Paul Dano, but
No.
this is Paul Dano.
But I'm also not getting Riddler.
right.
yeah.
No, this is Paul Dano's best role. I think this is like
Really?
I think this is the best thing I've ever seen him in.
Interesting. Well, I mean, There Will Be Blood, I would have
Even
to say.
even
But he's not starring in that. He's like
But he steals the show.
Oh,
even
yeah,
Lifetime
from-
original movie Too Young to Be a Dad.
is that a thing?
Is it
Did
really?
you guys never watch that in high school?
No.
Oh, I keep forgetting not everybody took like the home economics class in high school.
No,
That was a weird
But
play
Paul
for me, but it
Dano's
worked
in
out
it?
really nice. Yeah, he
Weird.
plays this like 14-year-old kid that knocks out some girl, and then she leaves him with a baby.
You know, I've seen quite a few Lifetime movies with my mom. She used to be a big Lifetime movie fan. And there's actually this one Lifetime movie that's in my head, and I can never figure out what movie it is. Let me throw it out here right now, just in case.
The holiday?
Not without my daughter.
All I do is I remember there's a scene where they're playing Hush by Deep Purple.
Nice.
Okay, and it's like a couple, a boy and a girl. They're on the run from somebody. They're being chased by a government agency. I don't know what it was.
Ice.
They're in this like old school kind of diner, and there's water all over the floor, and the water is like electrocuted for some reason. Like there's like a cable that's broken.
Huh.
And they're like on top of these tables, and they're having to jump across.
They're playing Ground is Lava.
Yeah, and they're playing Hush by Deep Purple like on a jukebox in the background.
Interesting.
And I don't know what movie it is. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one. And I've watched a lot of Lifetime movies
See,
on like sick days.
I need to find some Lifetime movie connoisseur. Someone who's just like encyclopedic in their knowledge.
like a middle-aged woman.
Yeah. He's like a bit of a bad boy. I don't know. Comment below if you know this. I doubt it. It'd be impossible. I'd be blown away if someone knew what movie this was.
We'll send you a random prize from this room.
For reals.
It's going to be the 3 straws we didn't use from our Dutch Bros today.
Dang it, you gave it away already.
that straw.
Yeah, so the Daniels are quite talented. And I'm just amazed that they
Are you only saying that because they're a Daniel also? Are you including yourself in that?
I am biased in that.
Are you including Daniel Radcliffe?
Oh,
Dang.
that Daniel too. Is there a Daniel in this movie? That'd be nuts. I don't think there is.
I'll scroll through the IMDb a bit. I already got
No.
it open.
Not that I see in the starring roles at least.
Oh yeah, but back to the movie. I agree. These guys are really, really good, man.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them. You know, this is one of those. You know how they always pick some indie movie director and they give them some giant franchise.
Oh yeah.
You would expect that from these guys. They're so
like
good.
if they got the handles of like a Marvel movie or something like that.
Yeah, like they're gonna throw them like.
I mean, that wouldn't be the worst thing.
No, it really wouldn't.
I think it would be good, even if they gave if they gave him one of their throwaway Disney series or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or shoot, give them a Star Wars movie. You know what I mean? We
Dude,
need somebody
yeah.
to do something different.
Yeah.
I can't just keep watching Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm hoping to see a lot of more great stuff from these dudes, and I'm hoping it doesn't take like a. A24 has like started with amazing filmmakers like someone like Ari Aster, like these
Yeah.
people, like Robert Eggers, right?
Yeah.
Robert Eggers recently just took his first dip.
But beggars. Yeah.
But beggars. Ari Aster's making something interesting right now.
Dude, who knows
and
what this movie's going to
I
be?
Usually.
don't know what's going
That's
on.
usually what he's doing.
What is it?
Yeah.
Disappointment Boulevard?
Yes.
I mean, if it's bad, the name will be just so many jokes.
It's setting itself up,
Setting itself up.
And he's
If the chances are it'll be at least slightly better than Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day.
Mm.
could be. You never want to put all your chips down, Randy. So with Ari Aster, we're at least with Disappointment Boulevard. This is taking a long time too. This is going to be out next year, I think. So it's
think so.
probably like a whole 5-year production since since Midsommar,
Yeah.
which is arguably
Wow, that was the last one?
Yeah.
yeah,
That was a while ago.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah. It's only
That
had
was
3.
pre-COVID, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, dude.
And it's crazy because Midsommar and thank you.
That
And
was so nice of
Hereditary.
you.
And Hereditary, both of his movies. It's weird because they're like a staple of streaming. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They're always on streaming somewhere.
Oh, and it's one of those movies, too, that maybe like you missed it in theaters, but it's gotten a bigger following, which this movie it's kind of interesting. It's gotten more and more, Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's gotten more and more theatrical viewings, I think just from word of mouth.
Yeah.
Just from people being like, oh, you should really go watch this.
You can also rent it at home now.
Oh, really?
$19.99.
It's very much like a snowball rolling down a hill.
Yeah.
Like picking up momentum.
Oh yeah, you're the one that told me about Snowball.
Snowballing?
Wait,
No,
oh,
that was
something else, right?
That was
Oh, that's
how did I forget her name right now? Oh my god.
From
She's not just a stepmom,
From
but she's also
Stepmom,
a
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts taught us about stuff.
No, wasn't it the daughter?
Oh,
Jenna Malone.
Yeah, it's Jenna Malone, but
No.
Julia Roberts tells
Julia
her.
Roberts tells Jenna Malone to
Oh.
say it.
Yeah. Well, perfect transition to go into also. We haven't talked a lot about it, but this movie's got a lot of just like emotional value too.
Yeah.
This is a mom-daughter movie. This would be a great movies about moms for moms.
Hey, maybe next
Yeah,
year.
this would have been a good one.
Yeah, it really would have. I think, shoot, I don't want to spoil anything, but towards the end, we're getting different, all the different reincarnations through different universes. And there's one where they're particularly simple.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But that one I think is very emotional. A lot of it is just told through text.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But really good
Especially in
stuff.
the second instance that it comes on screen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, oh my God, is this really happening? Am I getting emotional from this?
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
very surprising.
Even emotional from Ratatouille, believe it or not.
Yeah,
Bro, how could you
Ratatouille
not
hits the
get upset?
feels. Wayman does a really good job
dude,
of
I
like
knew
bringing out the not just the
Wayman was
actor
also
who
in
plays
there.
Wayman in
In Workaholics.
in Workaholics. Yeah, I knew you were going to be excited about that. I was like,
yeah.
oh, Danny must have been so stoked when he saw his face.
Whenever I saw him on screen, I was just like, Wayman and Wayman are in here.
And I still think he didn't have a single speaking line
he
in this
didn't,
film,
no.
just the way he is in
Oh, that's
Workaholics. What were we talking about right now?
Ratatouille.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Wayman, the husband character, played by Data / Short Round.
Yeah.
you go.
I feel like he brings a lot of emotion out. Both Alpha Wayman and then regular like Wayman, just the struggle he's going through.
Yeah.
I feel like you really feel for him.
It's a really sad component of it all where we can talk about wanting a divorce, right? That's part of the plot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it's someone who seems like so devoted to his wife.
And
Yeah.
it's not even that he wants the divorce. He's just so desperate to get back to the marriage he loved with his wife when they first ran away to America together.
Yeah.
That he thinks this is the only way to get her attention and see that there's something wrong here.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's not really interested in anyone else's feelings, really. She's kind of blocked herself off from not just her husband, but her daughter and almost everybody else.
Her laundromat clientele, who all seem kind of delightful.
Yeah, they all
Yeah.
seem like a nice bunch.
The bearded dude, I just saw his name is like Biff Whiff. The actor's name is
No.
Biff Whiff.
Biff Whiff.
Yeah.
Biff Whiff.
Yeah, I see it right here too. Yeah.
Oh, and while we're talking about actors' names, there was one of the police officers, the actors played by Dan Brown, who I can only assume is Daniel.
Hell yeah.
Slight chance he's like Danathan.
Or he's also written the Da Vinci Code.
Looks as though there is another Daniel Scheinert. Oh no,
That's I'm assuming that is the Daniel
That is
Scheinert.
one of the
as district manager.
Yeah.
quick question. And this is because I've never seen Ratatouille.
You've
But
never seen? Oh
no.
yeah.
Does the scene in Ratatouille happen like with Raccoon Cooey, where he gets taken away from the chef?
In
a way.
A way.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should definitely watch Ratatouille.
It's more like in Ratatouille. It's more like they get found out and they both get kicked out of the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Ratatouille is not too childish and hokey and like miraculous.
Ratatouille is really good.
it's
not
funny,
just
yeah.
as a dish, but also as a film.
No, it doesn't sound good as a dish to me.
I always
Oh,
thought
you've
I
had
would
it?
enjoy it. Actually, the first time I had Ratatouille, Michelle made it for dinner. One of the days I was over for dinner, and I was like, "This is Ratatouille. It's really good."
It's cold soup, right?
Yeah.
No,
Oh, I'm thinking of gazpacho.
you're thinking of Gestapo.
Gazpacho. The Gestapo.
Gestapo.
Also a cold soup.
Shout out Marjorie Taylor Greene.
A soup best served cold. Sorry, that was really messed up. Anyways,
I couldn't resist.
gazpacho. That's the one I'm thinking of. A cold soup. Ratatouille just seems kind of like a minestrone broth or something.
Gazpacho is good.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't know how I feel about a mouse preparing my food, but this is getting.
To be fair,
a raccoon, I might be more trusting.
to be
of.
fair, the mouse doesn't touch the food.
Oh, that's right. He just controls the shit. Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is why I should have watched Ratatouille.
The mouse is the little alien in that dude's head in Men in Black, but instead of being inside his face, he's on top of his head.
Makes a lot of sense.
Under the hat.
Yes.
Yeah. God, I
Wow.
love that.
When
She's
like
just
the
working
first
at a
time,
Benihana.
the first time you see him and you see like the raccoon tail sticking out of his chef hat when it's only like been discussed, it's
Yeah.
so exciting. It's like, wait, they're actually gonna do it? Okay, we're actually gonna do raccoon cooney? Sick.
Wow.
It's just, yeah. It's probably, it feels like you can just see so much influence of the actual writers, probably personalities, into their comedy.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same thing in Swiss Army Man too. Like, there's so many things that could only be attributed to someone's like actual identity being in their writing that you can notice in this movie. Also, I think probably I definitely noticed it in Swiss Army Man. The whole on the bus, the whole Jurassic Park thing that they do.
Yeah.
It's like this is amazing.
Yeah, a lot of themselves, I think, put in here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
This is I mean, I couldn't recommend this movie more to someone.
Right.
This is, and it handles foreign language really well, to a point where it's like it doesn't bog down the average American watcher, I guess, with like reading too many subtitles.
Plebs.
Unless it's
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather.
Right. He does have a problem even with English subtitles.
Yeah.
Or Lil Wayne. Is he also
A
illiterate?
little bit. No, I don't think so.
No, but he is a goblin.
Good point.
Sure.
He is a goblin.
Yeah.
He's a millionaire.
Floyd Mayweather, Goon, Lil Wayne, Goblin.
Floyd Waymather from a different universe.
Floyd Flaymather. But yeah, I think this is a safe recommend to everyone. Somebody might walk away rolling their eyes, but I think everybody has an opportunity. The multiverse of it isn't so convoluted, and they do such a good job of like taking you on the journey with the main character that I feel like everybody stands to get something out of this one. It's a truly enjoyable watch.
I just can't like articulate enough how great of a plot point an everything bagel is.
Yeah.
Just died laughing
I put
when that happened.
everything on a bagel. Everything.
Yeah.
The outfits in this movie are just amazing.
Love the
too.
costuming.
Mm.
Who's I can't remember what Jobu Tsubaki. Okay, I can see it now what like the enemy's name was. Jobu Tsubaki. But I kept thinking Jabberwocky in my head. But the costume choices just for Jobu Tsubaki in general as they swap through universes is just amazing.
I think out of all the flashes of costumes and stuff, the quick wrestler flash is probably one of my favorites.
Yes.
So good.
Also, like one of the things I noticed, all the shots are very tight. Like in the laundromat, we're very claustrophobic because they're like in the back rooms and stuff like that. But even in bigger scenes, like in the office, we're still very uptight on like the three. And fight scenes, we're still very tight on like the two people involved in the fight. Even like the big scene in the office building, we're still just cut in super tight. And I feel like that lends itself to the immersion along with the audio mix. You're very much in the moment.
Not to mention that they're not getting too crazy in the fight scene with the cuts either. They're all pretty long shots.
Pretty fluid fight scenes.
Yes.
And it's tasteful CGI. Like they really rely little on the CGI, but when they do, it's done well to where you're not just like, because I mean, how can you like actually visualize multiversal aspects without CGI? But
yeah, some of that stuff would be very difficult to do with no.
But it's done so well.
Yeah, it really is.
I think one of my favorite, which isn't a spoiler, I think is
well, it's probably a spoiler though.
Probably a spoiler.
Is how they have one of the ways in which they universe jump is via quirks. You know what I mean? Doing something that yourself wouldn't normally do.
Taking
in the
like
situation.
the least likely option.
Yeah. As a way to access.
A lot like in that Futurama episode when Bender's bomb goes off by something that he would never say. Like he has to say antiquing for the bomb to go off. So
yeah, I mean, that's essentially it.
They want you to do, and that results in so many jokes in the movie of just situations that you would never expect a person to put themselves in.
The hot dog fingers. It's so good. You gotta love it. I mean, there's not much more we can say without giving a lot away, I guess.
Dang old hot dog fingers, man.
Yeah, it's another tough spot to be in because I want to talk about the twists and the big plot points and everything like that.
Yeah.
But also, if you haven't seen this movie, it's not worth ruining it for you.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to add that much other than to say very well done.
Like, Jesus Christ, so good. I have no complaints. I think the rewatch value is endless.
Pretty high.
Like, I'm only 2 in. I can't wait for the third watch. Very much looking forward to it. See what else I pick up. Google Eyes. Love Google Eyes.
Yeah.
I want to put Google Eyes all over everything.
Everywhere.
God.
All at once.
And then, like, again, the Wayman character just so cute when she confronts him about the Google Eyes. Is like, no, the clothes is happier here. Look, see, it's happier.
Amazing. Well, speaking of googly eyes, if you get really into it, you can buy some merch from A24 from Everything Everywhere All at Once. And they have some really cool stuff. Like they have a bag of googly eyes, which seems like overpriced for sure.
Hey, come on,
Let me
get it at
guess,
Walmart for a couple
$19.99
bucks.
or something?
Something like that. They have an A24 t-shirt, but it's like the A24 spelled out with googly eyes.
Oh, that's cool.
Like it is the beginning of the movie. I was this close to buying the shirt, but it was $40.
Woo!
And I was like, I'm not going to buy a $40 t-shirt. I refuse.
Dang, they usually get you too.
Just go to
yeah.
Walmart, buy a plain Hanes t-shirt, $5, bag of Google Eyes,
Yeah, I mean, you can
$1.25.
make
You're
it, yeah,
in, son.
yeah.
The thing that might get me, and I think it's $40, is you can buy the hot dog finger gloves.
Ooh.
And they look amazing. And they come in a package.
Do they wiggle?
Yes. They look
Mustard?
exactly
Is there
like
mustard?
Yeah,
like
you
the
got to
movie.
supply your own mustard.
Well, the packaging looks like an Oscar Myers
Sick.
hot dog packaging. It's really, really amazing, and I want to buy them. I might do it. I
Make
might
it your
do it.
Halloween costume, man. There you go.
Yeah,
That would be a really good frivolous purchase.
I know.
Michelle's all pissed, and you're just like, I don't see what the problem is.
the problem.
Getting ready to have twins, buys hot dog hand gloves.
I might do it.
But she won't get mad if you buy 3 pairs of it.
The babies will love them.
If I just
they'll get a
spend,
kick out of it
$200 buying hot dog.
No, it's
fingers.
okay. I got them too.
Yeah, little mini hot
for the
dogs.
whole family.
Vienna sausage fingers.
We'll be the hot dog family. Changing our last name to Myers.
Oh God.
Well, I think that wraps it up on
Yeah.
our discussion for Everything Everywhere All at Once. We can't recommend it enough. Go check it out while it's in theaters. You can also rent it at home now for $19.99. I saw it on the Apple Store. Do it up. You're going to love it wherever you watch it. And that's going to lead us on to our next segment, which would be...
Oh, that's interesting. Here we go. Man, we're so excited here. We got Ezra Miller news.
Wow. Don't speak for all of us.
No, we're stoked.
You made Danny choke.
I
He knew
hate this
what was
guy.
coming, and he still choked out of shock.
Absolutely
Okay.
hate this actor.
So what's going on? I mean, Ezra Miller, known for fighting his way across Hawaii, just pulling a Russell Crowe and trying to beat up everybody.
He's so scrawny too. Just
Yeah,
look at him.
that little guy. Anyway, sorry, Frank's losing over here. Anyways, on to a more serious
I'm
note.
sorry, he's broken.
I can't say this without laughing. Hang on, I need to get a little more composed here. Anyway, Ezra Miller, and I got to say this with like, a grain of salt, because there were reports of him. There were reports of him kidnapping.
I had not made that connection yet, and it just hit me so hard. I almost ruined my MacBook with that swig of coffee I just put in my mouth.
Okay,
I'm sorry, everyone.
Jesus.
Sorry.
I hadn't started sweating yet, and I'm soaked.
so
In more than ways than one.
Yes. Yeah.
wow. Okay, Ezra Miller had been accused, and this was just a couple days ago, had been accused of kidnapping a young woman and being on the run, like no one could find him. That was the latest Ezra Miller news.
Matt Gates style.
Yeah, but it was from like
No, people are actually upset about this. That's the big difference. Yeah.
unlike Matt Gates, these were unsubstantiated claims. Okay, there wasn't a lot of evidence of it. So basically, this all comes from the parent. My daughter, and this is a tweet from the parent. My daughter, Dakota Iron Eyes,
Awful.
has not had a
That's
phone.
the first crime.
She's a Native American.
Oh,
Oh wow!
Sorry.
You're racist.
I apologize.
Had a phone since January 2022. Ezra Miller has control of Dakota's Instagram. If you know Dakota's whereabouts, please contact me. So this started off as, the mom accusing, like, hey, Ezra Miller has kidnapped my daughter. But from the
Grapevine?
From the very reputable site that is gaynerd.com. As of yesterday, Dakota Iron Eyes rejects allegations that Ezra Miller has kidnapped her. So she is like in contact now. I want to get your guys' opinion. We'll see what we see here. 18-year-old allegedly living with Ezra Miller rejected allegations by her father and mother that the actor has kidnapped or brainwashed her. And this is a quote from her through Newsweek. So I don't know why I'm on gaynerd.com. It's just favorited.
It's just a better site.
It's favorited
Yeah.
on my phone. Chase Iron Eyes says he is concerned about Ezra's state of mind after filing court papers seeking a restraining order against the DC Comics actor. Iron Eyes, a Native American activist, has raised concerns over the welfare of his daughter, who's reportedly been living and traveling with Miller for several months. Dakota herself, however, has rejected the allegation as grotesquely false in a video message recently published on Instagram. She said she was disappointed in my parents and the press in every way. We're just concerned about Ezra's state of mind and whether he'll lash out on Dakota for the actions that we've taken on Dakota's behalf. People online are saying that she's an adult and can make her own decisions, but the only reason the judge entered the protection order is because we reclaimed guardianship as of May 17th. The news of Chase's filed allegations against Miller were made public earlier this week. The court filings have been seen by Newsweek.
Well, hostages never make videos to placate everyone. That's
Yeah,
never.
And somebody
this
who's
is-
been brainwashed has never claimed to not be brainwashed.
No, I'm totally here of my own free will.
No, it's not a cult.
No, Trump definitely won the election.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this.
Um,
I'll tell you what, Ezra Miller though, the guy's going crazy.
not a great guy.
Yeah, and that's what makes me lean towards this girl has probably been groomed and brainwashed is his track record of being a human piece of shit
And groomer. Yeah.
and groomer. Yeah. Yeah, not just fast, deplorable. So yeah, I'm and it's you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but I'm pretty sure he did some scumbag.
Why is he hanging out with 18-year-olds is my
Yes.
first
How
step.
old is Ezra Miller? He's got to
Well,
be
that's 30.
fine. He's got to be
Who's
around the same age.
Who's
as
the
us.
H guy and who's the height guy?
I'm the height guy. Danny's the age guy.
So
I think.
how old is Ezra Miller and how tall is he?
Okay, I'm going to say, though, to be fair, I've never seen an Ezra Miller movie. So I feel like I have to check myself out here. Oh, no, I have.
Didn't you see the perks of being a wallflower?
He's in Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yeah, he ruined that movie. All right, age?
Yeah.
28.
Okay.
Okay. I see. I feel bad about this. I feel like I have. He's not fresh in my mind, but I'm going to guess 5'10".
Still within a year, still within an inch. 29, 5'11".
Oh,
Damn, the boys still got it.
No.
As soon as we figure out how to make money off of this, oh boy.
we're in.
Oh, yeah. So why is he hanging out with 18-year-olds so much? That's my first thing. Secondly,
Yeah.
did he kidnap her? In my opinion, no. But did he brainwash her? Yes.
Yeah, I believe that she's not kidnapped.
If you brainwash someone, I think it is kidnapping.
I mean, not
You know
in
what
the
I mean?
legal sense.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer either.
I mean, I only specialize in bird law. So
I'm not a lawyer, but I've been on Yahoo Answers a lot.
yeah.
I would just say that, like, a lot of these people that join cults and stuff like that are maybe even brought up in cults, do it of their own volition. And though it's arguable whether they're in the right mind to do so.
Well, I'll also say that if she's just 18, and especially if her parents, for some reason, have custody of her still,
Which is
that's
another question.
suspicious.
Yeah, that's
There's
another
something
question.
But also,
But is this a Oh my God. Is this a
conservatorship.
Britney situation
Mm.
or is this a that lady in Florida who killed her daughter?
Casey Anthony.
Casey Anthony situation. You know what I mean? Is this for her own benefit or her parents'
benefit,
benefit?
financial benefit.
I mean, oh, go ahead.
Well, I was also going to say, if she's only 18, then one would think this relationship has been going on longer than.
Longer.
I
know
would
what I mean?
imagine so.
If you're brainwashing someone, you're working on that.
That
for a
doesn't
while.
just happen within a week.
No.
Unless you're real good. I mean, if that's the fact, then he should just start a cult like Jared Leto. And
Well, he does get things done quick.
Yeah, he does play the Flash.
He's the Flash. Very fast.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I do think it's kind of.
That's probably why they can't catch him.
He's just too fast.
Catch me if you can.
Something that's cracking me up a little bit is that he was in Crimes of Grindelwald.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, they're going to have to recast him after just having recast Johnny Depp.
Both of which are Warner Bros, right?
Yeah. And then also on the other side of Warner Bros. Is the DC universe where he's Flash, and they also just canned Amber Heard.
But
So
they
it's-
also, I heard
Weird.
recently, because I did hear, I don't know how recent this was and how recent I heard this on the radio. I think this is probably a week or two ago. The Warner Bros. Still hasn't said anything about him.
Well, and I think
Because they
after-
have a whole movie of him.
after he was going around
They're
beating
all
people
just going,
up. Yeah. I think they were hoping to keep the movie after he was just fighting people. But now that he's, kidnapping and brainwashing,
and grooming.
yeah, like
it's a little bit more problematic.
They're going to have to do something
I
major.
think that they're putting a lot of stakes on this Flashpoint movie, which I think is probably mostly done by now. And that's probably the problem.
Well, I think a big part of it too is it seems like, and this is coming from someone who hasn't watched any of them, but aren't they sort of rebooting the universe, and aren't they using Flashpoint as the
As a multiverse
the
kind of
launch
thing.
pad to be like, okay, this is why there's a different Batman now, and why blah 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 blah.
It could be done now,
Yeah.
but they would have to be swift action and now.
They can just CGI scrub them out and replace them with the original movie Sonic, the one that everybody hated.
Oh, or I was gonna say Michael Cera. Let's get Michael Cera in as Flash.
Oh yeah, all lanky and awkward.
Yeah. And like a little pudgy now that he's older too.
Yeah.
Quick sidecar. I actually did watch Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and it is
Gross.
pretty funny, dude. I
Yeah,
mean,
I've heard that those movies are pretty enjoyable.
they're actually pretty enjoyable.
I was never a huge Sonic fan.
I was about to say. I mean, I played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, obviously, because
I
I
love the
had a
Sonic
GameCube.
video games, man.
I mean, I've played them, but never since I was a child. There's never been a moment I was like, man, I should really fire up that old Sonic. Or
I would say if I
Same.
was a parent and I was going to the movie theaters to placate my children to watch this movie, I would have a good time watching this movie. It's funny. Not knowing anything about it, too.
that's how I feel about robots.
That movie? That
Yeah.
old robot? That's actually a decent movie.
It's a solid. I feel like that's a really good one that hits like enough for the parents to laugh at, and your kids will be fine.
Shrek level.
Yeah.
Actually, Shrek is S tier level.
I was
That's
going to
like-
say, just take your kids to see Everything Everywhere All at Once, but there's a little bit of parts that might be like a little too
I don't think they'll
racy
understand
for like
that,
a little
though,
kid.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you run the risk of them like getting bored and then
Yeah.
starting to fuss and stuff.
No, that's a bad idea.
You
Take
know
them to
what?
see Watchmen.
Other sidecar, when I went to go
Yeah,
see
they won't get bored.
Jurassic World Schmishminion,
Yeah.
some right before the movie started, this family walked in with 2 young children and a goddamn baby, and I was
Oh,
like,
man.
Jesus Christ, this is gonna suck. Not a single peep out of that baby.
Hey, good for them. They must have been Swedish.
It's like, wow.
It put the
How
baby
did
to
you
sleep.
do that?
That's what.
How drunk did you get that baby before you came in here?
Jeez.
Another sidecar, if I may. When we were like abroad and stuff, like this might be a weird observation, but it's just a kind of an in general thing in the Nordic countries.
I'm pretty excited.
Every Swedish family, the kids were super well behaved, even on the plane, in a restaurant. Not one peep, not a scream, not a run, not a get out of their chair. And it's like kind of a common like Nordic thing where like if the adults are having dinner, the kids are like in their room or something like that. It's like if there's like a family dinner. Or
So you're
something
saying like
that.
the Swedish hit their kids a little bit?
I don't think they do. I think that I don't know how they do it, but it's just
It's their terrifying like folk tales. You know what I mean?
The
kids think if
Belschnickel and all that stuff.
they don't behave, they're gonna get dragged away by some monster and hit with a stick.
Krampus.
Yeah.
Weird
American
sidecar.
kids, they're like, no, I want to be nice so that I get my toys, but still, when I'm kind of shitty, I still get my toys. But
The kids
Swedish
are just
kids are like, no, I'm gonna get dragged away by a demon.
Yeah, the problem is not enough Christmases go by where it's like, no, you didn't make the cut this year. Sorry.
You know the rules.
Sorry.
You were naughty.
you got coal. Or too many American kids are just like, I know my rights. You know, to be a
Uppity kids.
where were we? Ezra Miller sucks. That's weird, man.
Yeah. Weird, interesting, curious to see what happens next. Hopefully this young lady's okay and gets, deprogrammed soon.
Yeah.
I don't doubt she's not the only one.
That might be what they need. Her parents need to hire like one of those like consulting firms who specializes in like deprogramming like cult kids. You know what I mean? They need to. Sometimes the only way to combat a kidnapping is another kidnapping.
Wow. Kidnap Ezra Miller.
What was the what was the general thing about his last thing? He was beating up a bunch of people at a restaurant in
It's like
Hawaii.
karaoke bar or something. He was like throwing chairs at people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then before
He,
that,
like,
he was
he
like beating up
choked a fan.
reporters, right? Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Right?
The man's unhinged.
Yeah. And he's not a good actor.
No. He's real life Homelander right now.
Dang.
Wow, David, that was interesting.
Thank you. Nice time.
Come on,
there.
Tugga.
Yes.
That's going to kick us on over to Character Limit Extended. Recognition.
Dinosaur noise.
Eh,
Sad party horn.
Who we're talking about? Yes. I like that because it kind of had like a dinosaur stomp effect almost to it too.
yeah, I could see that.
We're talking about Jurassic World Dominion, the lackluster finale to a extremely lackluster and almost disgustingly barbarically bad trilogy. Who had the
That should say it all, man. Just that hard pause and
It's
the hard
beeps and predictions.
that really sums it up really good. That
was you, right?
I had the Hemingway.
Okay.
I'm gonna lead off with, and we'll continue by saying very strange choices in plot made, including like who the villains would turn out to be and who the accomplices are. It seemed like a lot of the old actors didn't want to be there and were just collecting a paycheck.
What?
Like very,
You mean phoning it in?
Very
dude,
Ghostbusters
very
Afterlife.
phoned in delivery for I feel like everybody. The few instances of animatronics that I noticed looked worse than the animatronics in the original film, which is crazy. And stupid locusts on
down.
fire. Weird way to try and wrap it all up.
Yeah.
In no way
Jesus.
do I ever want to watch this film again. You couldn't get me to
No.
sit down and what is it like 2 hours and 29 minutes?
Dude,
we wasted on this film.
so long.
Why
man.
is it that long?
Way too long. Because they
What-
were trying to. They had all these plot points, and they were just like, I don't know.
So like one of my biggest complaints, it's like going in to see Godzilla versus Kong, I wanted to see some big ass monsters fighting, and then that's exactly what they
Yeah.
gave to us.
And
I wanted to go
some,
see
and
this
then
dinosaur
some.
movie, see dinosaurs running around, tearing people in half, biting each other a little bit maybe. The whole first half of the movie, they're trying to get you into this like human emotional plot point. I don't give
No one
two
cares about
shits, not even a single.
There's almost no dinosaurs.
There's
for
almost no
a
dinosaurs.
There's like maybe
And by the
20
time
minutes of dinosaurs.
you
in this
get
whole
to
movie.
dinosaurs, I'm over it.
And they're not even-
I've already checked my phone 2 or 3 times to
The
see how much
dinosaurs
time's
don't even
left.
fight each other.
No.
There's no real human dinosaur danger.
At the very end.
At the
At the
very
very end.
'Cause they
Which
got
you
you to
know is
watch.
coming because
Yeah.
as they're flying into the park, they like tell you how
They're
the rest of the movie is going to
corralling
play
everyone.
out.
in.
That's also just how you end a Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I guess
forever, really.
always, yeah.
Always.
Yeah. What is with this locust plot point, man? I mean, and then the whole Dodgson thing, like, what? You grab a character like you sent us today, everyone's talking about, it's just like Dodgson is mentioned for 20 seconds in the first movie, and he's a little more of a part in the novel just because he runs a rival company called Biosyn. That's it.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I've seen Jurassic Park a lot of times. I did not remember who Biosyn was. I didn't remember who Dodgson was. This is stuff that to me was inconsequential in the first movie.
Newman told you in the first movie, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
It's true.
That is a sum. That meme is a sum for this whole movie. Dodgson. Not even Dodgson cares about Dodgson. Not even Dodgson's underlings care about Dodgson enough to not subterfuge.
Yeah.
But it's just so mind-numbingly dumb. And you know, another interesting thing too about this movie is like a couple months ago they actually like released like the beginning of this movie, what the original beginning was of this movie.
Yeah, I saw that. I actually used some of it for the edit of the episode, the CLE.
And it was good.
Well, it was like 8 minutes of just dinosaur footage.
It's just dinosaurs from back like in
That's what I
the
want.
Cretaceous area.
That's exactly what I wanted.
It was essentially an origin for the blood of like the famous T-Rex. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was cool though. It was better than a compiled now this video.
Yeah, but the studio saw it and said, no, this isn't going to work. We need to...
How are we going to get the Zennials to watch the screen?
No, it's just like, well, we need to start the plot. You know what I mean? This is too like artsy.
Yeah, which is weird because it wasn't.
I said pretty much everything I wanted to say in my review, except for, I didn't have enough characters to get this in. And it's basically like, so the movie starts off and you get this weird Stranger Things season 3 thing, season 2 or whatever, where they're protecting 11 in this little cabin because government can't find out. She's got to stay hidden in there. So that's going on. And then it turns into this like kidnapping thing. Then we get like bioterrorism because Biosyn is so evil they're willing to let like the world starve by destroying the food chain, which felt very like Resident Evil Umbrella.
Yeah.
So that's the whole first hour and a half of the movie. They're like chasing through Rome or I don't even remember where they go. Some European place. I don't really care.
Right.
It's really
it could have been
boring.
Rome. It could have been like Africa.
Malta.
Like,
Yeah,
it was Malta.
Malta.
Yeah.
Sure. But anyways, that's the whole first chunk of the movie. Then once we finally get to the Biosyn headquarters, it's clear that we're doing Jurassic Park 1 again, where it's like, here we are at the facility, except our characters have now changed position.
Yeah.
Where they're the people going in to steal information. In a weird way, our characters have become Newman, which is really strange, but okay, fine. At least they're doing something different. Then once our parties meet, it becomes unapologetically Jurassic Park, where Jeff Goldblum is literally doing the same thing that he did in Jurassic Park. They're hitting the exact same beat again.
Open shirt.
Yeah, it's wow. Okay, fine, whatever. I get it. Nostalgia bait movie. It's, Force Awakens. It's just hilarious because you guys already did this when you did Jurassic World.
Yeah.
So not only are they're doing it for a second time, but then at the very end of the movie, they redo Jurassic World.
Yeah.
They redo the ending of Jurassic World. It's incredible. It's like, how are we getting away with this? How are we letting them do this?
It almost seems like in the writer's room, they had one of those world clouds for like what's hot right now and what people like about Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And they didn't know when to stop taking things
Raptor.
out. They're like, no,
Motorcycle.
let's fit it all in. Everything. Toss it in there.
Vest. hand.
It's the Force Awakens effect. Force Awakens came out and gave everyone
You
the
said came
template.
out.
Did I say came out?
Yeah, you
it
did
came
say
out.
came
Okay,
out.
well, it came doubt, and it like hit the soft reboot template, and then you have things like Ghostbusters Afterlife, which try to do it, and now
that
this
was
one
so
that comes
bad.
out, and it's enough to placate people. And there's no way for me to say this without sounding snooty, but there were a bunch of people in the theater who just loved it. It was exactly what they wanted to see. It hit the notes that were like comfortable. Oh, the Barbasol cans here. Yeah, oh, it's so amazing. And
Oh, the T-Rex was in the circle just like the thing.
Yeah.
What?
so it's I mean, it's very digestible, but that's what it's going for. To me, I can't even say that much though. I think there's a lot of people who watched the movie and said, "Oh, it was fine, it was great." But it was like, man, that movie's incredibly long, incredibly boring.
It's what dumb people wanted, though.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say like only idiots are going to like this, but that's what it feels
This is we have a
Danny is saying.
we have a terminology for that on
Yeah.
the channel, and that's the Resident Evil crowd. The Resident Evil crowd
Yeah.
loved this movie.
Yeah, sure.
The other there's an audience score of 79% on this one. I'm sorry, I'm hitting numbers, but
I didn't care enough to look up any numbers for this. So
for Rotten Tomatoes, a 79% audience score, which is appalling. But I remember when we went to go see it, when I went in,
is a good score, but is gross because of how bad this movie is.
exactly, which is everyone I've talked to that has seen it, that I know and kind of trust their opinion. It's like objectively bad. But
I went with the two coworkers who very much enjoyed their time,
which is weird.
Yeah.
The tomatometer of critics was 37% when I went into the movie. As of checking right now, it is 30%, which is right.
I mean, it was like at 75 when the movie came out.
That's crazy.
And then when I went to go see it,
'Cause
I
it was
remember
bought.
it was like 50. And now it's 30%.
That's crazy.
But just tanking.
This is why you can't trust the critics. You got to go and form your own opinion, man. I really like the movie. It had a bunch of dinosaurs in it.
They went chomp. I've been trying to think about this because like I said in my review, I did not think it could get worse than the last one, and I thought they were going to learn from their mistakes.
Yeah.
This is way worse than the last one. In fact, I would rather watch the first half of the last movie, which was actually watchable, and then suffer through the second half, then watch this one. But if I had to fix this thing, I mean, obviously I'd get rid of the locust thing. I would honestly just focus, if you wanted to even just do Chris Pratt and stupid Bryce Dallas Howard and Clone Girl, I would just focus on them. Or I would have just focused on Alan Grant, Laura Dern, and Ian Malcolm, and I wouldn't have had it. I would have just have it be like a survival horror story, like trying to live in the world with these dinosaurs, not trying to find a solution, just like literally trying to survive.
Yeah.
Or, bear with me, cocaine-fueled elevator pitch. Malcolm has decided he's going to try to turn himself into a dinosaur. And we do The Fly reboot. in
Directed by
Jurassic World.
Cronenberg?
But with a raptor.
Yes,
Dang.
The Raptor is what we'll call it.
I mean, the movie's
Jurassic World, The Raptor.
It's got so many moments that are so stupid that it's like the logic of this movie would implode on itself with just the smallest amount of criticism. Where it's like, how is this? There's a shot of like New York and there's some pterodactyls or something. I don't know.
Quetzalcoatlus, but
Whatever.
yeah.
Some
on
dinosaurs
the
are,
One World Tower.
Yeah, and it's like, no, there's no way the dinosaurs would be nesting on top of this. They'd be swooping down and picking up people and like,
Yeah.
how is this possible?
And you're telling me there's no way that, like, I don't know, a B-2 or some kind of like Black Hawk helicopter wouldn't come in and just mow these things down?
That's what I'm saying.
The poop problem alone.
Yes, there would be some military-esque task force going around the world hunting dinosaurs.
Right.
And that's what this movie could have been.
Man, that
we'd
would have
be
been cool.
eating-
That would have been kind
We'd
of
be
cool.
eating premium dinosaur meat from Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage.
Yeah, that arguably would have been cooler, especially when you're considering that in the dinosaur sanctuary, they had a radio emitter that like kept flying dinosaurs from attacking aircraft.
And also,
But they
these
didn't implement that in cities?
impulse things in their brains. They're sending
yeah, they have, like,
electrical
a chip.
impulses to
What?
make them do
What?
whatever they want.
What?
The whole thing's stupid.
And there's a
It's really dumb.
swimming feather raptor that can be in Arctic waters when they're cold-blooded dinosaurs?
Even something as like this big bad who is already involved in like corporate espionage and like insider training and trying to take over the world's food supply. When he finds out one of his employees is trying to whistleblow him, he's like, "Hey, you fired," instead of like disappearing him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And he has a very bumbling exit too, where he dies from 3. The loss. Spoiler alert.
Who cares?
Dodgson dies.
Spoil it. They spoiled it
They
themselves.
kill him like they do Newman, but they add a few more dinosaurs to say, "Hey, look, we're raising the stakes."
Oh, you liked 1 Dilophosaurus? How about 3?
Yeah.
I hated this movie.
Yeah. I almost walked out. I almost walked out about an hour into it, and then I said, could I just write a review where I just describe my experience and how I left the theater because it was so bad? And then I was like, well, what if it gets so ridiculous that I have to watch it so that I can laugh about it? And unfortunately, it didn't even reach that for me.
It doesn't even get, because
No.
I love some schlock.
Yeah.
You know, I have a very high tolerance, but they don't even tip the scale far enough for it to be a schlocky, fun time adventure.
Yeah. It manages to just wade in the giant pile of poop that it is for 2.5 hours.
It had the logic of like a late era Transformers movie.
Ugh.
It takes itself too seriously for how ridiculous it was.
Yes.
Which I don't get.
But
Don't
much
go
like
see it.
much like a company that would keep trying to control dinosaurs in a modern world, the people behind the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World franchise will not learn from their lessons.
Please don't watch this movie. Go see Everything Everywhere All at Once instead.
Yes.
Sadly, I think this movie has made so much money.
Let's see. That's worth.
So
I
much
bet
money.
it's made a.
I think it's made enough. I don't know.
I saw that it's made.
They made their nut.
I saw that it's made quite a lot. Just
well,
in the
people.
first
I mean,
weekend.
it was packed.
I mean, I'm talking probably triple-digit millions is what I'm thinking right now. Because even worldwide, the worldwide audience likes stupid American movies too.
Danny, you are correct. Made on a budget of 165 million. They have currently worldwide gross 392 million.
Christ, they made double
89,000.
back. Oh my god.
So we'll probably get more of these. I would imagine.
It needs to stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? It's it was top of the box office. It beat out Top Gun Maverick.
Which I've heard is awesome.
And you know,
dude.
we had some requests to do that movie too, actually.
I might go see it. I've heard it's awesome. I hate Top Gun, but I've heard it's a good movie.
I've never seen
I-
Top Gun. I just don't like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I have such a hard time watching Tom Cruise on screen.
To be fair, I hate Tom Cruise too. I did go see Mission Impossible Fallout,
I don't like the Mission Impossible
and I don't like the Mission.
franchise.
Dude, it was a good movie.
No.
It was weird.
There's my work crew gets along pretty well. One of the biggest things we disagree on, that we're split on, is like Mission Impossible.
Well, you don't
and
like
I'm hard. Nah, I'm good.
you don't like Bond either.
Yeah.
I don't
So
like
maybe
Bond.
it's a bit of a
Like a spy movie thing.
spy espionage thing. I mean, of course, everyone loves True Lies.
True Lies.
True
great.
Lies is great.
The
But-
Bourne series, although I haven't seen them in a long
I'm
time.
not a Bourne series fan.
Really, you like the Bourne movies more than Bond?
I
That's
did.
interesting.
That's interesting. That's an interesting take. Mission Impossible Fallout was great.
I've heard those are good.
Yeah.
I've
They
actually
really are.
never seen a Mission Impossible movie.
Honestly, it's the stunts, really. And then
Yeah.
and then that's what I've heard a lot about from Top Gun Maverick is that the stunts are just like next level crazy.
And he's like flying.
Well, that's
the
like
plane.
his old thing. He
Yeah,
does like
that's
his
his
own
thing.
stunts.
well, and that it's like
he's small. He runs, does his own stunts.
there's barely any CGI in the entire movie too, which is crazy. These were actually performed by like pilots. So
I would guess Tom Cruise's height, but that information's been scrubbed from the internet.
oh, it's like
With
5'4"
millions and
or
millions of
something.
dollars.
Yeah,
He's not that short.
dude, he's short.
He's got to be like 5'7".
No, it's probably like 5'5". I would. Well, you're the height guy. Put in.
I could be wrong. Again, I hate Tom Cruise. I don't watch him in movies.
yeah, I bet that's
5'7".
gonna be- Wow.
Is he really 5'7"?
5'7".
Guys.
You're too good at this,
Guys,
man.
I'm telling you, it's my one gift. We were watching Stranger Things, and Michelle was trying to test me. She was like, "How tall is David Harbour?" I was like, "The guy's 6'3", on the dot.
Hey,
He's
another
6'3".
reason to watch Maverick. This is Tom Cruise fans are noticing that the actor's 5'7" height wasn't edited in Top Gun Maverick. They usually film him
Aren't
from
you
bottom
supposed
up
to be
and stuff.
short too to be a fighter pilot?
Yeah, you fit
Yeah.
better in the cockpit.
Yeah.
Although I had a friend I used to party with when he joined the Air Force, wanted to be a pilot. Too short to be a pilot.
Oh,
Oh.
was he tall enough to be a pirate?
But it worked out for him. He ended up joining like the special response team and spent years just working out and hanging out in Hawaii. So
Makes sense.
Wow.
worked
Sounds
out pretty
fun.
well for him.
Sounds fun.
Thanks, Uncle Sam.
End of the review. It's an awful movie. Don't go see it. I hate it. I'm very mad about it.
Yeah, I opened with a and I'll close with a.
And can I just say, with all my complaining, I am so glad I didn't have to watch Fallen Kingdom.
I'm sorry, guys.
Like you guys saw
Yeah,
everything
thank
everywhere
God
all
for
at
this
once,
episode.
and I was like, how about we do that podcast instead of ranking the Jurassic Park
This
movies?
is the best thing that could have happened to us.
I'd have been even more
Smart
upset
move.
if I had to watch
We could have been recording some 2-3 hour podcast,
Woo!
like
talking just about how
talking
much
about
I
movies
hate
that suck.
all these movies.
Would you say that this is the worst movie all year that we've watched? Except for Dirty Work. I'm talking theatrical releases. that we've
Theatrical
seen.
releases. Didn't we just watch another
like
stinker?
new movie. Studio 666.
But I guess that
I'd
does
rather-
count.
actually liked Studio 666 more
Yeah,
than
I
this.
had a better
I
time
would rather
watching
watch
that.
Studio 666 than Jurassic
because it
World
was
Dominion.
funny. Because it was schlock.
This episode has my favorite movie of the year and my least favorite movie of the year.
How nice.
How crazy. What do you know? Well, guys, that is it for Character Limit Extended. That's going to kick us on over to our final segment of the episode and everyone's favorite segment that's hypothetical but real. Peeps and Predicts. Peeps and Predict. For any
Since
new
we
listeners.
missed it this year.
Peeps and Predicts is a scenario segment in which we put
It's a
we put two people, i.e. peeps, in situations, i.e. predicts, and see who is triumphant, and pair them against our reigning champ.
Most triumphant, even.
Most. And who is our reigning champ still?
Neo.
Oh, no, it's a new champ. That's right. Ooh, another
Yeah,
omnipotent,
we got Green Lantern out of there
Another
faster than I thought.
omnipotent superhero. So the peeps today. Marty Bird from Ozark versus Walter White
Yeah.
from Breaking Bad.
Nice matchup. Nice matchup.
Okay, and they are facing off in. Let me get the ASMR.
Face Off.
It just says face off. What does this mean?
Who is most likely to star in the Raccoon Cooey spin-off movie as the voice of Raccoon Cooney? Marty Bird.
Yeah, Jason Bateman easily.
Well, I mean, even just this is the character we're talking about. Marty Bird versus Walter White. Walter White's spoiler alert. Walter White ain't starring in any movie, but Marty Bird, not only does he have the money and influence to now start a Hollywood career in the universe of Ozark,
And the voice.
but yeah, just voice-wise, Heisenberg is not the right voice.
No,
for
he'd
Raccoon
be
Cooney.
playing the guy trying to out them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He'd be playing the French critic from
If he
Ratatouille.
hadn't succumbed to complications of being riddled with bullets.
Yes.
A rare disease.
Yeah.
Well, this is easy, right? Are we all in agreement?
Yeah.
Okay, Marty Bird.
Who is more likely to have unironically enjoyed watching Jurassic World Dominion?
Okay, if we get rid of the dead argument, which one of these is the more basic character, Walter White or
Marty Bird.
I feel like they don't have a lot of pop culture in either of these.
I feel like they're very close. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? If we caught Walter White at a moment where there was still some Walter White left and we hadn't gone full Heisenberg, this dude was a big old dork and a nerd.
And he would have
Whoa.
loved to take Walt Jr.,
He's
but
a
he's a science guy.
scientist.
Yeah. He would have been
So
like, this
he
is
might have been
ridiculous.
more opposed
Yeah.
Interesting.
and more likely to poo-poo all over
but
this
I
Jurassic
could
World
also
Dominion.
I could also see Marty Bird being just like, it doesn't make sense to go to the movies. It costs too much.
Yeah.
Or he's welcoming a distraction.
He's also got 2 kids. Where
Could
so
be.
does Walter White though.
Yeah, but he's only
One's a little-
interested in cereal.
Yeah, that's a good point. The other one's like a little baby. I feel more Marty Bird just because he's a little more suburban dad than I feel like Walter White is. Walter's not that character for long enough. It's also, we don't really have, in this matchup, are we talking about Walter White at the end of Breaking Bad? Are we talking about Walter White at the beginning of Breaking Bad?
I would
It
say
could
for
be.
sake of argument, we should compare them as end of season 1 respectively. So like not full green, but like a little bit seasoned into it.
I think in that respect,
I think Marty Bird then.
yeah, I was going to say, in that respect, Marty Bird was still actively trying to keep his family together and distract them and keep them out of things.
And even by the end of the show of Ozark, I feel like Marty Bird's not completely compromised as Walter White is. Like Walter White goes so much further than
Yeah.
Marty Bird does.
Yeah, Marty Bird has conceded a few things.
Yeah.
But Walter White is a completely different person.
He's
He
still
has-
rocking the New Balances.
Walter White has conceded humanity.
Yes. True that.
So that means Marty Bird is going to have to take on Neo.
What a clean sweep for Marty Bird and a weird matchup before the final round.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here.
Who's more likely to not get you audited on your taxes?
Wow. Well, Neo is.
Who would have a weirder quirk that they'd have to do in order to tap into themselves from another dimension?
Oh, interesting. Okay, perfectly
I
synonymous
think
here.
the weirder quirk would be Neo, because Marty Bird is normally so straight-laced and not like zany in any way. And Neo has already had a lifetime of experience of already pretty weird.
Yeah.
That the full 180 weird for Neo would be much weirder than like Marty Bird. Marty Bird's like weird thing would be like buying a scratch off ticket.
Yeah, that's true. It
Neo's-
wouldn't take much to
Yeah.
put Marty out of his element.
Neo's weird thing would be like turn all your toes into spaghetti
Yeah.
or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like manipulate the Matrix in a way that you haven't before.
Yes.
Climb into your own belly button.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
I would love to see that scene.
Yeah, I think it's Neo, man. He's the one.
Did it again. Look past the spoon, Neo. Look past the spoon.
Well,
Yeah, that weird plot twist where Neo gets super into heroin. Never saw it coming.
how exciting. Here we are. We finished another one. Here's what we have coming up next. Next week, we'll have a CLE review of Elvis for you all. Very excited to see this movie.
Uh-huh.
Ho, ho, ho.
Then we have in July, The Umbrella Academy. We're reviewing the new season, season 3.
How fun.
It took 12 years to make. Then we have a birthday pick for Danny. We're not going to announce it yet because we're still on the fence.
It is in flux.
And then after that, we'll have another podcast coming at you of the new Thor movie, Love and Thunder.
I'm excited about that.
Me too. I'm very excited
about that because, unironically, they are good movies, except for The Dark World. They are good
Yeah.
movies, though.
Well, since Taika Waititi has taken over,
Yes.
he knows exactly what to do with that character.
Since Marvel has established the tone necessary for Thor.
and
I definitely slept through the first one in theater.
Well, yeah,
with,
they didn't-
the boys.
honestly,
They didn't have
I
it.
think leading up to this one, if you wanted to get back into it, I think you should watch Love and Thunder.
Mhm.
And then make sure you didn't forget what happened in Infinity War and Endgame. I think that might be the most
I
important.
don't even think you need to
Hey,
watch
I've
The
seen
Dark
those
World.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think you need to watch the first one or Dark World.
Well, I mean, the first one, you just get a little bit of that Taika Waititi tone, and you also get Taika Waititi's character is introduced in that movie.
In first
the,
Thor?
The Rock Man. No, in,
Oh, okay.
did I say Love and Thunder? I meant Ragnarok. That's what I meant. to
That's
say.
the one. The new
Yeah,
one
the
is Love and
third
Thunder.
one. Yeah, watch Ragnarok,
Ragnarok
and maybe
is dope.
the 2 Endgame Infinity War 2-parter thing.
Isn't Ragnarok what the little blue aliens are chanting in...
No, that's Arachna. What is it called? Arag. Oh, I'm on the internet right now.
Isn't
Wow.
Ragnarok an attack in Final Fantasy?
It is because of Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Huh.
Garagnag. Let me see. Galaxy
Garagna.
Quest.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe it's actually
Monster.
kind of a play on that.
Name.
I bet it is.
Apparently, there's a documentary. out.
Garagnak. Garignak.
Garignac.
Wow, look at that. The Galaxy Quest wiki.
It's very close. There's a new documentary out about the making of Galaxy Quest.
Oh, lovely. I'm going to have to
Which,
check
yeah,
that out.
I need to
I
watch.
love that movie.
We're gonna do it again.
I'm down.
But that's what we have coming up for you.
That's right. Thanks for checking out another episode of Uninformed Movie Reviews. Be sure to check out Everything Everywhere All at Once. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, like, share, and subscribe. Please help us out with a click on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Help us out with a review and a follow, and you can get every new episode right as soon as you open the app.
Also, we hit a big milestone for the channel personally on our Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness
Oh, yeah.
review. So thank you to everyone who happened to share, who happened to give it a view, who happened to give it a like. We appreciate you greatly.
We will see you next time. Get out of here!
Later, bozos.